Join me as I dive into the incredible moment Athing Mu took a tumble at the USATF trials, and let's see if I can break down what led to that shocking fall. Athing Mu, the rising star in athletics, has been making waves in the track and field world with her incredible performances and record-breaking times. And with the USATF trials being a critical stepping stone in her career, all eyes were on her to see if she could deliver under pressure. The USATF trials are notorious for being one of the most intense and high-stakes competitions in the athletic calendar. Athletes from all over the country converge to battle it out for a spot on the national team, and the pressure to perform can be overwhelming. One wrong move, one misstep, can be the difference between making the team and watching from the sidelines. Injuries and falls are an unfortunate reality of the sport, and they can have a devastating impact on an athlete's chances of success. We've seen it time and time again, a promising athlete, on the cusp of greatness, only to be sidelined by a freak accident or a careless mistake. The trials are no exception, and athletes know that one wrong move can mean the difference between achieving their dreams and watching them slip away. The stakes are high, and the pressure is always on. Athletes have to be at the top of their game, both physically and mentally, to make it through the trials unscathed. It's a delicate balance between pushing themselves to the limit and taking care of their bodies, and even the slightest mistake can have disastrous consequences. Athing Mu was no exception. She had been training tirelessly in the lead-up to the trials, fine-tuning her technique and building up her endurance. Her coaches and fans alike had high expectations of her, and she knew she had to deliver if she wanted to make it to the national team. She was focused, determined, and ready to give it her all. But despite her best efforts, Athing Mu's training regimen was not without its setbacks. She had been dealing with a niggling injury in the weeks leading up to the trials, and it had forced her to take a few precautionary measures to avoid aggravating it further. Her coaches had been working overtime to get her back to full fitness, but it was clear that she was still feeling the effects of the injury. The expectations placed upon her by her fans and coaches were immense, and Athing Mu knew she had to rise to the occasion. She was the favorite to win, and everyone was counting on her to bring home the gold. The weight of those expectations was palpable, and it was clear that she was feeling the pressure. As she stepped onto the track, Athing Mu was a picture of focus and determination. She was ready to give it her all, to leave everything out on the track, and to make her country proud. But little did anyone know, disaster was lurking just around the corner. And then, it happened. Athing Mu took a tumble, falling hard to the ground in a shocking turn of events. The crowd gasped in horror, her competitors stopped in their tracks, and the immediate aftermath was one of stunned silence. It was as if time had stood still, and all anyone could do was watch in slow motion as Athing Mu struggled to get back to her feet. The reaction of the crowd was one of disbelief, with many fans covering their mouths in shock and awe. Her competitors were left stunned, unsure of how to react to the sudden turn of events. And as for Athing Mu herself, she was left reeling, trying to process what had just happened. The aftermath of the fall was one of chaos and confusion. Medical staff rushed onto the track to tend to Athing Mu, while her coaches and teammates looked on in horror. The atmosphere was tense, with everyone holding their breath as they waited to see if she would be okay. The implications of the fall on Athing Mu's future endeavors are still unclear. Will she be able to bounce back from this setback, or will it have a lasting impact on her confidence and performance? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, the sports community is still reeling from the shock of that incredible moment. So, what do you guys think? Share your thoughts on the incident in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other videos on track and field highlights, there's plenty more where this came from.